to whether or not people get jobs. Yeah,
It was not a mandate for the Republican Party.
Right.
It was a mandate for
jobs.
government.
That's right.
To get the job done. And I think the same independents that voted for Obama and the moderates swung to the Republican side as an alternative. Now the maverick in the whole equation, of course, is the Tea Party. And I see the Tea Party as a third stream, pretty much tapping into the same energy that Obama tapped into when he got elected. And they're starting to see that, yeah, there's some anger out here that we can tap into. People are dissatisfied for various reasons. But you see, we have to make sure that we are not getting into demagoguery. You know, because you always have demagogues who can get people fired up and riled up and that type of thing. So now those people who are in the House of Representatives, they're going to really have to cooperate with President Obama, work with him,
I mean,
because if they continue to be known as the party of no, then they're going to be kicked out in 2 years. Because you know, you can only get elected for 2 years in the House of Representatives.
And especially when you talk about the economy and jobs and et cetera. And then I think one of the great issues now is to whether or not to extend the unemployment compensations for a large number of folks.
Right.
And you can't sit up there and sit on your hands in reference to that when people in Kentucky and people in Ohio and all these people are suffering. And the only thing you can say is that you're not going to cooperate. See, I mean, to me, that seems to be a very, very odd kind of situation that they find themselves in. I mean, it's almost as bad as not having voted for the health care thing and then to come up and talk about getting rid of it. Well, anyway, I don't want to...
Well, you know, the thing is, it seems as though we're revisiting the contract with America that Newt Gingrich started.
That's exactly it.
When Bill Clinton was in power. And, you know, he took it to the point where he actually shut the government down. And I think if they start those kind of antics again, the American people are not going to have any tolerance with that, you know what I mean? But another part of the fact that, of the economy was the fact we were in two wars, a war in Iraq, a war in Afghanistan, plus in a recession. So I think Obama is very wise to say, well, let's bring the troops home so we can save some money. It's costing us a lot of money to finance 2 wars. I can't ever remember a time when America was engaged in 2 wars.
Major wars.
Yeah, major wars, you know what I mean? And even though we have support from NATO and so forth, still, I mean, it's draining a lot of money out of our economy, plus the loss of lives of young people. And then the soldiers who go there and sacrifice when they come back home, they're losing their homes. They don't have a job. Some of them have serious emotional problems.
That's right,
getting divorces. So the kind of toll that it takes on the American family and homes, I mean, it's, you ask the question, is all that worth it, you know?
Very good. And of course, Dr. AAl-Hadid, we've got about a minute, 25 seconds before we end this show for today. And have you got any final statements that you'd like to leave us with dealing with the great debate in reference to President Obama?
Well, I think President Obama is going to be obviously the man of the hour. He has a Nobel Peace Prize. He's the first African-American president of the United States. He has a vision that continues Dr. King's vision. So I think the historians will have to say that he is certainly one of the dominant intellects and one of the dominant statespersons of the 21st century.
Very good. And of course, we're getting ready soon to celebrate Dr. King's birthday again, holiday. And I guess you're ready for that too, I would imagine.
Yes, sir.
Everybody's ready for that. Everybody that you know, you've gotten. Okay.
Yeah, we have to keep Dr. King's dream alive because he is the alternative to what is not happening in America. He still represents that shining light, that vision where we need to go, that people should be judged not by the color of their skin, but by the content of the character.
I appreciate that.
Character is the most critical things for the American people today.
Very good.
Rooted in scripture as well as American values.
Okay, let me thank you, and let me encourage our audience to tune in again next week for another informative edition of Comments. Thank you, and